denied. A judge has rejected a plea deal in a squatting case that's captured national attention, suggesting the proposed punishment didn't match the crime.
She is not innocent, and she is a skilled liar. I am seeking reasonable justice and simple restitution.
The homeowner in this case was surprised to find two women had moved into her Hogan's Creek property last March, claiming they were victims of a rental scam.
Yeah, the women had recently been evicted from a nearby property where they also claimed that they were duped. This homeowner wasn't allowed inside her own property for weeks as that eviction case moved through the civil court system. And it resulted in tense confrontations, which News4JAX I-Team brought you last year when the situation first came to light.
We don't have to leave anything until the police comes back and tell us what would be the
I have every
decision.
right to be in this house.
You don't have every right to be in the house at all.
Today, that woman pleaded guilty to trespassing and criminal mischief. News4JAX reporter Ann Maxwell was in the courtroom, and she's joining us now live. Ann?
Kent, this is the second time this case has come before a judge here this week. On Monday, it was revealed both sides had come to a proposed plea agreement that would see the defendant serve 12 months probation and pay about $3,600 in restitution to the homeowner. The judge said she wanted to hear more information. She heard that in the courtroom today and decided to reject this proposed plea agreement, meaning that now admitted squatter faces the possibility of jail time.
She refused to vacate someone else's home.
Me and my girlfriend owns the house, so I don't know what you need to take up with the police, whatever the case may be.
I own the house.
But yeah, okay. No.
If you touch it,
I'm not touching you.
After she was arrested, she denied being involved.
Anything you want to say to the people whose houses you stayed in?
No, unfortunately, that wasn't me.
That is you in the video. What are you talking about?
Unfortunately, that wasn't, so I don't know what you're talking about.
But today, she pleaded guilty.
Your attorney has entered a plea of guilty on your behalf to two separate charges. Those charges include criminal mischief and trespass. Is that what you want to do today?
Yes, ma'am.
We aren't naming her because the charges she's now admitted to are misdemeanors, including criminal mischief related to broken windows on the property. However, the damage done to the house where she lived rent-free went well beyond that. Here's Patty Peoples, who owned the home at the time, speaking on the witness stand today.
I incurred significant cost in legal fees, lost a house sale, lost sleep, lost my sense of safety, and suffered substantial lost income. As a retiree, this really hurt me.
The judge also considered photos of the broken windows and damage People says she found at the house the same day the women were evicted. The defendant's attorney tried to keep those photos from the judge, noting the restitution in the plea deal is related to just broken windows. Peoples told me that's the only damage the state attorney's office felt they could prove the defendant did with video evidence. However, she's denied tearing up the rest of the house.
Well, I'm not bound to just cover the windows. If I'm being asked to impose restitution.
After reviewing the evidence, Judge Julie Taylor rejected the proposed plea agreement.
I do not see how probation with conditions, including no victim contact and restitution without more, is appropriate here. I think the damage is incredibly significant.
Today, given the choice between going to trial or entering a guilty plea now, the defendant pleaded guilty. I asked Peoples how it felt to hear that.
Every little victory through this process is really meaningful because I went almost a year with feeling so frustrated that I really just had no power.
A new sentencing hearing has been set for later this month. The maximum sentence this defendant faces for each charge is up to a year in the Duval County Jail. There's also the possibility of restitution. Now, the silver lining in this case is that it's inspired the unanimous passage of a new state law to prevent this happening from anybody else. That is now in effect, and it allows law enforcement to immediately remove somebody who's living in a home without a valid lease. Reporting live downtown, Ann Maxwell, Channel 4. The local station.
And thanks. That Florida law she mentioned, protecting property owners from squatters, took effect 11 days ago. Under this law, police officers can be called to help remove squatters immediately, but there are conditions that have to be met before an officer intervenes. You must own the property or be an authorized agent of the property owner. The unauthorized person must be occupying a residential dwelling. That unauthorized person must have unlawfully entered and is continuing to stay on the property. Also, that property must not have been open to the public when that unauthorized person entered. More conditions allowing police to intervene. You have told that unauthorized person to leave. The unauthorized person is not a current or formal rental tenant. The unauthorized person is not a member of your family. And there's not any litigation between you and that unauthorized person. Only when all these conditions are met can you proceed with contacting the sheriff's office. Also, each sheriff's office has a different policy for proceeding. For the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, you will fill out an online form, then call the JSO non-emergency line. An officer will respond and come assess the situation. You can catch up on all our I-Team coverage of this squatting situation and how it led to changes in state law by scanning the QR code you see on your screen right now by using your phone camera.